Assalamu alaikum, my dear students of class 7. This is your teacher Miss Yusra Mughal and I welcome you again in a virtual class which is organized by Metropolitan School. So my dear students, from today we are going to start our revision, and for the revision we are going to study the chapter, that is the lesson 2 in your book. The chapter name is Kidnap. Have you read the story about the treasure island? Yes, we have read the story about the treasure island. The same author who has written the story, the treasure island, has written the story Kidnap. And what was the name of the author? The name of the author was Robert Louis Stevenson, right? So let's discuss about the little background of that story, that at what age this story has been took place. Right, so this story has been taken place in 18th century when David, the boy, was only 17 years old and her parents died. And he has a letter of his parents and he took this letter to Uncle Ebenezer, the uncle to whom he got kidnapped. Right, so now let's moving towards the story. The boy name is David and the uncle name is Uncle Ebenezer. So finally we have only two characters in this story. So the story starts that David took this letter to the Uncle Ebenezer, and what happened next? Uncle Ebenezer saw the letter and he was not feeling good to see David over here. So what he did with him, what you will do when you got any of the guests at your house, at your home, so what will you do? You will obviously welcome, give the warm welcome to the guest. But what Uncle Ebenezer do with David? Uncle Ebenezer took David to the upstairs, the room upstairs, right? And the room was very dirty. So he took David upstairs at the night and asked him to sleep on the bed. The bed was too damp. Damp means slightly wet, right? So he slept over there, and then on the next morning when the sun rises and he saw the room was too much dirty. The bed was damp, the windows are broken, and the room was too much dirty, right? So what happened next? Uncle Ebenezer took David to the backside of his house and pointing out some of the well that to wash their face and to clean up, right? And then David again went back into the room and then he cleaned the room by himself, right? He put the bed clothes at the window and cleaned the whole room. Now what happened next? What happened when some guests come to you? So you will present so many dishes, so many items to eat, to serve to your guest, right? But what uncle did to David? Uncle only served the porridge in whole 3 meals of the day. Porridge in breakfast, porridge in lunch, and porridge in supper, right? So this is how Uncle Ebenezer showed his jealousy or his unlikeness towards the David. Now what's happened next? One day Uncle Ebenezer asked David to go at the back of the house, and there was a tower at the back, and asked that kindly go upstairs to the tower and bring the chest of a wooden chest for him, a wooden box for him. So at night there was totally dark. David go, and what he told David that there is only key to go upstairs, that to be close to the walls, right? So David go at the tower. He started going upstairs. It's a very stormy night. It's all dark at night, and when David go upstairs, he go, and then suddenly a flash of lightning appear, and he saw that there is no more staircase at the tower, and if he took another step, he must be fell down and die. So at that time he realized that what Uncle Ebenezer wants to do with him, and just the flash of lightning was save his life, right, my dear students? So now let's moving towards the exercises of that very chapter. For that, what you will have to do, you will have to learn the vocabulary meanings, the phrases, idioms meanings and the phrasal verbs meaning of this chapter if you have. And there is another exercise which is the text exercise of your book, that is exercise A of page number 8. Exercise A, page number 8, in which what you will have to do in this exercise, you will have to finish the sentences by adding 1 or 2 words of each of them, right? So you will have to write the missing words in this exercise. This exercise belongs to your text copy. Now let's moving towards your grammar exercises, that is exercise A on page number 9. So what you will have to do in this exercise, you will have to tell that which of these nouns should begin with a capital letter. So my dear students, before doing this exercise, there is a need to know about that where to use capital letters and why we are using capital letters. For that very reason, in this exercises, we are going to know about the different kinds of noun. So here, first tell me that what are the nouns. Nouns are the naming words, but some nouns are the common nouns and some nouns are the proper noun because they are the names of some specific things which is begin with the capital letters, and common noun like the simple nouns, right, like book, car, etc. Fine. So in this exercise there is a list of some words which is given to you people, and what you will have to do, you will have to start the proper noun with the capital letters. For example, there is a word given, that is book. It's a common noun. Book is any kind of book, right? But there is another word, that is Hyderabad. So I started writing Hyderabad with capital H because it is the name of the city, right? So this is how this exercise should be done in your copy, and you will have to revise it, right? So in your copy there are 2 portions, 2 columns are being given, in which you will have to write the common nouns in one column and the proper nouns in the other column. Now let's moving towards the exercise B of the same page, and what you will have to do in this exercise, you will have to add the suitable collective nouns to the phrases. Now there are some phrases given to you people, and you will have to add the collective noun. So what are the collective nouns? Firstly we'll have to understand that what are the collective nouns. So collective nouns stand for a group of things, right? A one word which denote the whole thing. For example, class 7, the class 7 denotes the whole class. There is no need to take the name of individual students. I am just saying the class 7, right? Now let's take another example, a dash of footballers, a team of footballers. The word team denotes the players of football, right? Now let's moving towards another exercise, that is exercise C of the same page, in which you will have to give the abstract noun formed from these words. You will have to give the abstract nouns of these words. So what are the abstract nouns? Abstract noun basically denoting the ideas, the quality and state, but it does not denotes the concrete object. It is your ideas, it is your quality, it is your state. Likewise, fear, likeness, unlikeness, whatever the words, right? So we'll have to write the abstract nouns of the words given in the list, right, my dear students? Now let's moving towards another lesson, that is lesson 7, Princess Aubergine. So this is a very long chapter in your book, but I just summarized the chapter. Firstly, you will have to understand the word aubergine. What is aubergine? Aubergine is basically the eggplant. So this is a story of a girl who is very beautiful, who is in the eggplant, who is in the aubergine. So one day farmer has saw a beautiful plant and a beautiful fruit on that plant, and he cut that fruit to eat. But the plant was too good, fruit was too good, and farmer and his wife doesn't want it to eat, and when although obviously they are very hungry, so when they cut it, so there is under that plant there is a girl sleeping, and the girl started shouting, screaming that please do not cut me. So the farmer and his wife adopted that girl and nurtured her in a very good way. So what happened next, the girl was very beautiful, so that's why the girl called Princess Aubergine, because she is in the plant of aubergine, so and she is very beautiful, so the girl called Princess Aubergine. So what happened next, that through small distance from the farmer's house there is a palace of a king. So one morning when a slave of a king, a maid of a queen basically went through there, so she saw that there is a girl who is much more beautiful than queen. So what happened next, that the maid tell this to the queen that there is a girl which is living next to your house at the farmer's place which is next to your house, and tell that this girl is very much beautiful, and if king saw her, then king will surely marry her. So what queen said to her? Queen said that do any of the tricks and kindly take this girl to the palace, and what she will do after taking her to the palace, she will definitely wants to kill that girl because she is very good at magic as well, right? So when she gave the offer to the Princess Aubergine that queen wanted to be in the palace, so Princess Aubergine feeling very happy and went to the palace. And when Princess Aubergine went to the palace, queen and princess took tea in a same cup and they were feeling happy. But what happened in that cup of tea, that in that cup of tea there is some medicine is also added to that tea. After that Princess Aubergine feeling sleepy. So what happened, then that time the queen cast the magic spell and asked the princess in the morning that on which thing the princess life lie. So what happened next, the princess tell first that her life was lie in the first son of queen, as queen and king has the 7 sons. So what happened next, queen asked slave girl to kill his first son, then asked slave girl that to check that Princess Aubergine is alive or not, and what she saw that Princess Aubergine was alive. On the next day she again cast a magic spell and again asked Princess Aubergine that on which thing your life lie, and Princess Aubergine said on your second son. So queen killed her second son as well, and the same way she killed her all 7 sons, but she remains alive. What happened next, then queen cast a strong magic spell and then asked Princess Aubergine about her life, and then Princess Aubergine tell the truth. There is a pond at the north side in which there is a red and green fish, and on that fish there is a necklace, and if she put that necklace, so she will be died, right? So queen asked king to send the farmers to that very area to find out the red and green fish and ask for that very necklace, and king thought about that queen is not feeling good by losing her all 7 sons, so that's why king asked his soldiers to go at the pond and find out that fish, and when they are finding out that fish, the queen carry on that very necklace on which the Princess Aubergine's life lie. But before that, apart from these things, Princess Aubergine already knew that she told the truth about her life, so she went to the farmer and her wife and tell that do not bury or burn his dead body if she died. Do not bury or burn his dead body. Go at the north side and just lie down her body on the ground. So when queen put on the necklace, and when the slave girl of the queen asked about the Princess Aubergine, so she told about that she is not buried, her body is lie down at the north side. So she asked king to not go at the north side. But one day king, who is fond of hunting, so when he was going on hunting, so what he saw, he didn't find anything to hunt, so he deliberately went to the north side and saw a beautiful wall in which a lady is sleeping, right? So king used to go over there, and then there is a child he saw there. He saw a child, and after that, after a few months, after a few years, when child is able to speak, he asked that what about your mother, is he alive or not? So he said that my mother is alive at night when you went off from there, right? So then he asked that why she is not alive in the morning, in the daytime. So the Princess Aubergine told her child about that when the king's queen, the mother of the 7 sons, the killer, so when she put off the necklace, so she remained alive, and then the child tell each and everything to the king, each and every story of the Princess Aubergine to the king, that how the queen has killed his all 7 sons. And when the king asked Princess Aubergine to come to the palace, so she said that if the queen has been killed, then she is able to be in the palace. So what happened next? That king took the necklace from the queen, and what happened then Princess Aubergine said that kindly dug the hole and leave the snakes on that, and on that very hole then throw the queen in that hole. So king followed the order, and this is how the queen has been died, and Princess Aubergine and king and the child has been living their life peacefully and happily, right? So for this, my dear students, the textual exercises of this chapter has been included in your syllabus as well, right? And the vocabulary meanings, the phrases, idioms meaning, the phrasal verb meaning, if. So these all things are very including in your text exercise, which is the exercises of your text, and all the exercises in your text copy of this chapter is included in the syllabus, the exercise A, the exercise B, in which you will have to match the columns, right? So now let's moving towards the grammar exercise of this chapter, in which there is exercise A of page number 40. What you will have to do in this exercise, you will have to change these sentences into questions by changing the word order. So there are some sentences giving to you people, and you will have to do what? You will have to make the questions of that very sentences. So we already discussed about that how can you make the sentences. So you can found that there is a sentence that is written, that is she is pleased. So what we'll have to do while we are changing it into question, we'll have to change the word order. So how can we change the word order? If the sentence is this, she is pleased, so it should be changed into is she pleased, and the very most important thing, that is question mark at the end of the sentence, right? So this is how this exercise should be done in your copies. Now there is another exercise, that is exercise B. Change these sentences into questions using do, does and did. We have already discussed the uses of do and does while we are discussing about the tenses, that how we are using do and where we are using does and where we can use did. So my dear students, let's take the examples of this as well. Let's take example number 1. He made a wooden box. Made a wooden box. So we recognize the tense, that is the past simple tense, and for the past simple tense what we'll have to do, we'll have to use the helping verb did, and by using did as a helping verb we can make a question, that did he make a wooden box, right? And question mark at the end. Now let's moving towards another one. My friend knows the answer. So my friend is singular and the verb with s or es. So we know that with the verb with s or es we are going to use the helping verb, that is does. So does my friend know the answer. Right? Another one is they like being here. So we are using do they like being here and question mark at the end. This is how this exercise should be done. First, what you will have to do, you will have to recognize the tense. If the main verb is in second form, so you will have to add the helping verb did. If the main verb has added s or es, so what you will have to do, you will use does. And if the verb has nothing, it's simple, so you will have to use do in it. Right? So now let's moving towards another exercise, that is the exercise under the heading of useful words and phrases, and this exercise is on page number 42 of your book. What you will have to do in this exercise, you will have to change the statements into questions by adding question tags. Right? What you will have to do, you will have to change the statements into question tags. So let's take an example that we can begin. So how can you change it into question tag? You can change it into question tag that can't be. Right? So this is how this exercise should be done in your copy, and this is about the revision of both two chapters. I hope you understand and enjoy the lessons. See you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.